Hi, guys. I'm not a very happy camper right now. My Windows computer and my phone decided to quit working together. They started a thing just a couple weeks ago that I could use my camera as my phone as a virtual camera. So that's what I've been doing because this picture's been a lot better. All of a sudden, it's nowhere on my phone, not an option on my computer. So I'm back to having my other camera up. So it took me a while to get that all set up, to get everything down but I'm here. Good. I'm glad I'm seeing some of you coming back on that were on earlier. I am so sorry about that. I could not believe it. I had everything all set up. Everything was going smoothly. And then all of a sudden, the virtual camera option was gone. I restarted everything, still didn't show up. So I'm wondering if they took that option away and they just didn't let us know. Ugh, okay. Well, I'm here now. So we got all set up. Let me see who all is on here. Sorry again for being so late. Hi, Robin. Robin texted me a little bit ago. I'm finally here. Hi, Lola from Wisconsin, and Marva from New York State, Anne from Arizona, and Carrie from Alabama. Oh, yeah, I'm glad a lot of you stayed on. I'm really sorry about that. Hi, Becky. And Carrie, I said hi to you. Oh, you said unusual. Yes, very unusual. I did not expect that. That has worked, like I said, probably for at least a month, and all of a sudden that option was taken away. I don't know what happened. Hi, Patty. Okay. Oh, and thanks for sharing, Becky. I appreciate that. Okay, I see some of you already doing hashtag door prize. I'll talk about that here in a minute. But if you already have been watching, a lot of you have been here before. So go ahead and start doing those hashtag door prizes right now. But I'll explain that here in just a minute for those of you that are new. Okay. Oh, hi, Nancy from Oklahoma. Glad you're here. Okay, hopefully I didn't pass over. Hi, Myra. I don't think I said hi to Myra. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. I'm kind of a little flustered, but I think I'm settling down now. I hate technical difficulties if you didn't if you didn't notice. Okay, well, last week I might as well have done that live because the Pacers didn't play very well. I'm still proud of them though. Very young team. We didn't expect them to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. They did a great job. So disappointing game, but that's okay. I'm back. Oh, 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 hi, Carrie. I got two Carries. I got Carrie Hankins and oh no. Oh yeah, no, it's always Carrie Hankins. Okay, I thought I had another Carrie on here. I'm losing my mind. There we go. Oh, hi, Carmel. Glad you're here. Okay. Seeing some more pop up on here. Marie Parrish from Kentucky. Glad you're here. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the door prize. I was going to tell you a couple of things because I know I'm going to forget this. I'm going to switch to this. This was the camera. Now let's see if it'll switch. It's not wanting to switch. What is going on here? There we go. I was going to get really mad again. But I wanted to show you these really, really quick. Tomorrow is the last day. I'm not going to go into particulars about this, but I've been talking about it all month. If you're interested, you can look all my links on Facebook. Any links I bring up are up in the Learn More button. Just click on that and you'll find everything there. Um, on YouTube, just look in the video description. But you will have why join my team. You can click on that and get all the information there. If you have any questions, you can just comment, or you can message me on Facebook or click the contact me link down the video description on YouTube. I'd be happy to go over any questions with you, but it does end tomorrow. I just want to remind those of you that were thinking about it and still might be interested. Okay, now this everybody's going to be interested in. I want to make sure I told you about this. Next week, starting Wednesday, June 5th, you can get an extra 10% off of bundles, the ones that include the stamp set and the die set. Let me get that a little closer so you can see that. Don't do the scan thing. That doesn't work right now anyway. Whenever you see one of their QR codes, it takes you to the store or whatever link, but it won't have me down as a demonstrator. And if you want that, you can just make sure you sign in and make sure I'm the demonstrator. Pick me as the demonstrator. That's just like a general link, but right now it's not working anyway, so you don't need to bother with that. But it does say all of the bundles that are stamp sets and die sets. Now, the one I'm using tonight, I'm not sure about. It is a bundle with stamps and dies, but it also includes decorative masks. So I'm thinking this is still going to be part of the 10% off. I'm not positive of that. because they said the ones with punches are not, and then like ink pad bundles and things like that. But this does have a die set, so I'm thinking it's going to be 10%, but don't quote me on that. I'm not positive of that. We'll find out soon. But I want to let you know about that, because if you want to place an order to get the card kits free tonight, and you know you want to get a bundle that has, it's a stamp set die set bundle, you'll want to wait until Wednesday. That's the last day of this class, so you'll still be able to get in on this if you use the host code that you see scrolling here on the bottom of the screen. But I want to make sure you knew that, because I didn't want you to miss out on that extra 10%. So it'll actually be a 20% discount on that bundle versus buying each thing separately, put it that way, because our bundles are always 10% off if you get the bundle rather than buying the die set and the stamp set separately. Now they're giving you an additional 10%, so you get 20%. So it's a really, really good deal. Okay, I saw some more come on here. Oh, hi, Nancy. I don't think I said hi to Nancy. I know it says hi to Carmel. Hi, Deborah. Glad you're here. And oh, Rayetta. Okay, I just saw. I was going to say Maria again. It says Rayetta, so I'm taking. That's your name. Okay. Oh, hi, Polly. Glad you're here too. And Betty from Wisconsin, and Polly's from North Carolina. Okay, I am going to show you the door prizes from last week. Now, let me put this up quick. Usually have this set up, but I didn't get to right off. There we go. If you live in the United States and want to be part of the door prize drawing, and I will show the door prizes for this video in just a minute, you want to do that hashtag door prize that you've been seeing other people do. You want to stamp it just like you're seeing there on the screen, because I've got a program that is going to take all the comments that have the hashtag door prize in them, and you'll get put in the drawing for the live door prize, and I will announce the winner at the end of the video. But I'll tell you a little more about that here in a little bit too. But this is from last week, and since I did a recorded live, I've got 2 embellishments to draw with. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up this spinning wheel. See if this is going to switch this time. Good. So for the adhesive-backed swirl dots, so this is everybody that commented hashtag door prize during the recorded live and the replay of that recorded live last week. Okay, so let me get, forgot to go to the, there we go. Let's see who's going to win the adhesive-backed swirl dots. These are part of that latte suite that we have. And the winner is, that is somebody new. Congratulations, Kathy. I hope you're watching, or you'll be able to watch the replay if you're not here live. I'm not sure what if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, but you'll want to click, if you're watching on YouTube, look down the video description, click the contact me link, and send me your mailing address. If you're watching on Facebook, just message me there from my page and give me your mailing address that way. So congratulations, Kathy. You got the the adhesive-backed swirl dots. Keep forgetting the name of that. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you quick the second prize in case you didn't see it. This is the next drawing. This is just everybody. Like I said, it's on that wheel. So I wanted to show you, this is the iridescent pearl basic jewels. So now let's draw and see who's going to get this one. Get this going here and go. I took Kathy off since she's already won one, because you can only win one time in a video. And misplaced my pencil. There we go. Oh, Crystal. Crystal, I do have your address. This might be the first time you've won. I can't remember. But I definitely have your address, so I will get those pearls mailed out to you. Congratulations, Crystal. Okay, now have all of that ready. And now I want to show you the door prizes for this week. So all of you that have already done it, you are set. You don't have to do it again. If you've done the hashtag door prize, you're good. And then I've got, oh, wait a minute, I just saw Isabella. Hi, Isabella. You wanted to be here live today because you had a day off tomorrow so you can sleep in. Unfortunately, the video hasn't been displayed for 10 minutes. I can't get a connection. What a pity. Oh, no. That's a shame. Hopefully she can get that worked out. I was a few minutes late, so hopefully she can get that to work. That's a shame. She lives in Germany, I do believe. and she likes to watch it during breakfast, but she was going to try to watch live. Oh, that's a shame. Hope she can get on. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and explain this one more time. Everybody's already done it. You're good. Those of you who just came on, if you do hashtag door prize, make sure you type it in exactly the way you see it there at the bottom of the screen. If you have to live in the United States, though, to do that, then I will put you in a drawing. This is for the live video. These pearls are actually not available right now. I'm going to get over here. Maybe you can see it. There we go. These are the adhesive-backed pearl trio. They're on, well, can't say back order. They're just not available right now. They're not in stock. And they will have these back soon. But I've got an extra pair from my club this past month. So I thought, well, I'll give these away. So this is for everybody that watches the live here tonight that does hashtag door prize. And you do need to live in the United States in order to be in the drawing, because this is a product from Stampin' Up. Now, those of you that are watching live and watching my replay, because I always like to make sure the replay people get in on door prize too. Make sure you do the hashtag door prize and you'll get put in the drawing for these. These are the basic gray and smoky slate pearls. So I decided to do 2 brand new embellishments for you. So some of you may not have any of these yet. So this is for everybody that watches the replay and the live here tonight that does the hashtag door prize that lives in the United States will get in the drawing for this. So this one, I will announce the winner here at the end of the video. This one, I'll announce it in next week's live, since I have to wait for the replay people. And this one, you have to comment by noon next Thursday, which will be June 6th. So noon Eastern time, because that's when I enter everybody's names into that wheel. Okay. I think I am ready to talk about the class. My goodness, we're half an hour. Yeah. Hopefully this won't take too long. I know it's got that really late start, so hopefully this won't be too bad for you. I'll understand if you have to leave. Lynn, yeah, you were so close. I noticed that. Okay, I'm just looking through some of I'm sure I missed a bunch of comments while I was doing that. Oh, no, I don't think I did miss too many. Good. Oh, hi, Lynn. Lorraine. Oh, I'm glad you're here, Lorraine. Okay, I think I've said hi. Oh, Deborah Ramos, glad you're here. And Anita Myers, glad you're here too. Okay, now I'm going to show you this bundle I was telling you about. Some of you that have been watching my lives here for a while, let me get this off of here so we can see a little better. There we go. Those of you that have watched me before, you may remember, I think it was back in January, I do believe, there's another set that includes these masks that coordinate with the dice and the stamp set. It's called Enduring Beauty, I do believe. It was a bundle back then. Now it's not. So if you want to get that one, you have to buy each one individually. But this is a brand new one that came out in the annual catalog, and it's available. And you can, like I said, you can get that bundle. It's $56.50. Now, if it is part of the sale on Wednesday, it'll be a little less than that, because it'll be another 10% taken off. But there's the beautiful stamp set. I like the Enduring Beauty, the first one. And I've even got, you know what? I don't have a link. On YouTube, I can add links down in the video description. If you go down there and click, after probably tomorrow morning, I'll get it added. I'll put a link to that Enduring Beauty video just in case you might have missed that, so you can see another version. Hopefully this is showing up good. This camera I'm not real happy with. I like my phone better. The colors are better with this camera, but sometimes it doesn't focus in very well. But this is, I love this rose thing, and you'll get to see this one in action. I think this one is prettier. I like this one a lot better. I still like the Enduring Beauty a lot. Don't get me wrong, but I like this one a little better. And once again, it has a little standalone dice with it and a little tag. I ended up not using the tag tonight, but there's the stamp, God bless, fits perfectly in that. And if you have any other greetings with a little bitty greeting, that would fit perfect too. Oh, hi, Christine. Just saw you pop up. And I think that's it. So that is the bundle I'm featuring. And with these classes, you do not have to own this bundle. If you get the card kits, you can use whatever you have on hand to make your cards. You don't have to make them exactly like mine, and you can use different bundles. But if you place an order by the end of the day, June 5th, using that host code you see scrolling across, then you will get everything you need to make 2 of each card I'm making here tonight. So you get these card kits. But if you bump it up to a $50 order, I will also add the Rainbow Adhesive-Backed Dots to it. These came out in the last mini. Really glad they came in the annual catalog too. There are actually 8 colors. you'll see all the colors here in a minute. I don't want to open up this one because this is a brand new product. So if I give this to somebody, I want it to be totally closed for them. So $40 order with the shipping and before shipping and tax with the host code, you get the card kits. Bump it up to $50 order before shipping and tax, and you will also get with the host code. You also get the embellishments. Now, if your order is $150 or more before shipping and tax, take that host code off because I want you to get the Stampin' Rewards from Stampin' Up, and you'll get all of this for free from me. And I ship these out. I think it's June 10th through the 12th. In between there, it's a Monday through Wednesday. Okay. Now I'm going to grab the first card kit. I'm going to get rid of that ticker because I know that can be. There we go. And I double checked a couple videos ago. I didn't have the host code right on one of them. Both host codes are the same. So there's the host code in case you need to write that down. But if later on, if you want to place an order and you totally forget the host code and all that, you can get the information in my YouTube video description. Click on the Card Class at Home link. On the Learn More button on Facebook, click the Get Free Stuff from me. Get free stuff when you order from me. I think that's how I worded it. Okay, so this is the first card base. Now, you're seeing this great big half piece of basic white. The reason I did that, this is going to be enough to stamp the big floral image twice. I was going to give you 2 4¼ by 5½ inch pieces, which would just be a little bit bigger than this inside piece. And I thought it might be confusing on which one to use. So I thought if it gave you a half sheet, you're going to know for sure which one to stamp on. So this is the card base. I'm going to go ahead and fold this in half and get those corners lined up. Here, I better stand up so I can see a little better. Okay. Oh, Polly, do you love this bundle? I do too. It is gorgeous. The flowers are they're just so pretty. I really, really like them. And these cards are really simple to make, but the flowers are what make the cards look so nice. There aren't too many layers to these cards. You really don't need a lot for this set. It's really pretty. Okay, make sure I didn't, yeah, good. I think I'm all up to date on comments. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab, it is a photopolymer stamp set. So if I can get a hold of it, there we go. I'm going to grab my Stampin' Pierce mat. And I'm going to do it like a no line. Have you ever heard of no line watercoloring? We're not technically watercoloring, but I wanted to have that no line look. So some of you may not have this yet. This is Basic Beige. This is a new color that came out with the annual catalog beginning of May. And it's a really nice color for doing that no line technique. So here's the big stamp. I find with big stamps, it's a lot easier to stamp with the stamp facing up, and then you bring the ink pad to it. Now I'm just going to lightly go over the whole thing. I learned this by trial and error. And then, so I just did that lightly over the whole thing. And then this middle part, I'm going to go over it with a little more pressure, just the middle part. Okay. When I did the same pressure on the whole thing, some of these outer pieces stamped really, really dark. It didn't look right. So what I'm going to do, this is just some, like I said, trial and error when I did it. I think I want to stamp it this way. Yeah. I'm going to lay this down. And then I'm only going to push on the middle part. Okay. I'm not going to bother pushing over here because I found out if I did that, that was when I got the really dark leaves and it just didn't look right. But then the center wasn't very good. So I'm just putting pressure mainly where the roses are at. Bring this up, and that is so much better. You can kind of tell the leaves still have a little bit of dark areas, but not near as bad. When I first did it, it just looked really gloppy looking. So play around. If you've got this, play around with your set. It may not be like mine, but I know with mine, it was a lot better. Just put the pressure on the middle part, and then these didn't stamp too dark. Okay. Oh, hi, Candy. Glad you're here. Now, you see that's really, really light. I love that beige color. I've been used it a lot already. Now I'm going to start using the mask. So I can get this over here. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive right, yeah, here on behind where the flower's at. Since I've got my glass mat, I'm going to kind of make it straight. It really doesn't matter, but it's going to help me. You know what? I better put some over here too. There we go. That way it doesn't move. Yeah, that's going to stay a lot better. Now I'm going to grab the masks. And you're probably not going to be able to tell by looking. Oh, hi, Mary Pat. I don't think you're going to be able to tell looking here on the video. Maybe you can. Yeah. But there is a number on each of these up here where that little notch is cut out. Now, when you get ready to do them, to know that they're upright, you want to see that number. If I turn this over, I don't see the number at all. This lets me know this is the first one I need to use. And the notch should be on the left side also. Now I'm going to line this up. Now, if you look, there are little flowers here that aren't roses. And they've got these little circles in the middle. Those are the flower centers. It's like there's a flower center there and there's one right there. I look at those first and get those lined up. And then I kind of look at the roses and kind of keep turning things but then I still look at those flower centers to make sure those are lined up right. I think that's the best way to line this up. And that just get as close as you can. Still look, like I said, when you see those flower centers where you want them, still look at your flowers and your leaves to make sure that looks pretty good. Actually, little blooms, those aren't leaves. Now I'm going to take, since this is a glass mat, let me see if I can find it. There we go. I've got a Sharpie. And make sure I didn't move it just now. I think I might have a little bit. There we go. That looks pretty good. I'm going to trace where this little notch is. This just kind of helps me when I put the other layers on. Okay. Now I am going to bring in my petal pink because I wanted to make the first card with pink flowers. And I'm going to use a blending brush. Hopefully that thing dried. So I accidentally used a different color on this. It would have been too dark. That lined up one more time. Now you can tape this down with maybe Post-it note tape or something like that, but I didn't have any trouble keeping it in place, so I'm not going to worry about doing that. But if you're nervous about it moving, just put a couple of pieces of tape on here and that'll keep it in place. And I am doing a light touch right now. I'm not going really hard. You have to put a little pressure on it though to get it to go inside those the openings. Now Stampin' Up calls these masks, but they're a lot like the stencils too, so they can be called. You might call them stencils. That's fine. It's the same type of concept, but they're that colored in, and I like how it's got lighter areas and darker areas. That is fine. Don't worry about it putting the ink in exactly the same everywhere. Now here's my number 2, and I'm going to line up these flower centers again. And then when it looks like they're lined up pretty good, I'm going to look up here, and that looks like it's lined up pretty good with that V. And I'm going to take petal pink again. This time I'm going to use a harder, more pressure, because I want this to be darker. And just adding another layer on makes it darker anyway. Now you could go with another color, but I wanted faint layers on it. That looks pretty good. Oh, I got a little bit off. That's okay, because there's still going to be plenty of room for my second one. So do be careful with that. What you could do, if you're making yours, you can just cut this piece in half at 4 1/4. That way you don't have to worry about getting it on the second piece by accident. Like I said, I did this half sheet just so you wouldn't get mixed up with some of the pieces. So that is done. Now I want to get number 3 out, and I'm still going to use petal pink. Again, I'm going to look at these flower centers. This time the flower centers actually have openings. Get that lined up, and that looks pretty good. And I'm going to go even darker with this. I've toyed with using a different color, and you definitely can. Maybe like Calypso Coral. I tried Calypso Coral as the third color on here, and it was just too much. But with the flower centers, they are a little bit away from the roses, so you could definitely add a different color to those flower centers, but I'm just going to stick with the one color. I'm going to lift this up a little bit. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So now I've got all that pretty detail in that. I'm not going to lift this up so you can see it because I want the paper to stay in the same spot, so this little notch is still going to work. So the flowers are done there. The last two are for the leaves. So I'm going to get number 4. And this notch should still work again. I'm going to look at all of the leaves. Oh, I want to get my ink pad out. I'm done with petal pink. Better close my beige up before it dries. I need soft seafoam. This is the only green I'm going to be using in this class. I was trying to keep the number of ink pads down a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and get some ink on here so that's ready. Get these lined up. So I'm looking at all the leaves, the little vines, and then when it looks like everything is lined up, move that up just a little bit. I'm going to look up here, and that looks like it's lined up pretty good too. So you always want to check that V, or the notch, I mean, to make sure that it's lined up. And that looks pretty good. Now I have noticed, let me move this a little bit more again. Sometimes this leaf doesn't match up perfectly, but it still looks fine even if it's out of the lines just a little bit. So I'm doing this. I'm not going to do I'm doing light version on this one because this is my first layer. I like doing these stencils. They're fun. Well, technical term is masks. But isn't that pretty? So you could even just leave it like that. You don't have to add the next layer. But I'm going to. So now I've got number 5. This is the last one. This is a lot of layers. I'm going a little slower to explaining stuff, but if you do it on your own, it comes together really fast, and I think it goes a lot faster than coloring too. And you're still getting all that different blending and things like that. So I'm looking at all the leaves. Looks pretty lined up. I'm definitely with this one, since it's not doing the whole outline of the leaves, sometimes it's hard to tell. Make sure that V or the notch is in the right spot. Now I'm using more pressure and getting all these, the detail part of the leaves done. Get a little bit more there. Lift this up a little. Oh, that looks good. There we go. So now I've got the detail on the leaves. So that is all done. And what I'm going to do right now here, let me go ahead and take this off. Isn't that pretty? I love those colors. And I love all that detail on there. Those flowers are gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to put this to the side just for now. If I can find them. There we go. If you do not have a sink handy, the easiest way to clean these off is to just run them under your tap, and it comes off really easy, really fast. I'm going to take these baby wipes. I'm going very light. This one's not so bad, but there's one that has real intricate little pieces of the plastic, and it's really easy to bend those up, or maybe even to bend them too much to where you can't really use it anymore. So I'm just doing a very light touch here, but like I said, running it under your tap water, it comes off. I mean, you don't even have to rub it. And then I pat it dry with a paper towel. I don't run it like some of these are really thin right here. I'm going to be really careful with those. Actually, I'm going to go the direction that those are coming so I don't go against them. Because I kind of did that once and that one popped up a little bit, but it's still working. Okay, that one's clean. You always want to clean them in between. I probably didn't have to do, oh, now it's sticking to my glass mat. Probably didn't have to do that with the leaf one because I'm going to be using the same color the whole class. But there we go. The flowers are going to be different colors though. All right, so I'm going to let those dry a little bit. Should have brought a paper towel over here. Didn't think to do that. And I don't know if this wipe will get that. Oh, yes, it will. Good. I knew my chamois would. But there, with it being glass, it comes off even, it doesn't even have to be an alcohol one to take off the Sharpie, which is nice. Okay. Oh, hi, Becky. Glad you're here. Becky Schlossnagel. Okay. Oh, thanks, Meyer. I'm glad you liked it. Anne. Okay. Yeah, I like those two colors. The petal pink and soft seafoam look so good together. Okay. I've got one more thing to stamp. Oops. I missed a. Thought I'd done all 5 of them. Oh, I didn't need to do that. There was a leaf. Oh, well. No big deal. I'm going to kind of fan this a little bit to get it dry. That's not too bad. Okay. Now, there is a little piece inside the pack. This one is a 2.5 by 1 inch piece. I'm going to use, get those out of the way. my basic gray, and the Grateful for You. I'm going to bring this back in just because of it being photopolymer. That cushioning really helps the stamping work better. Oh, thanks, Michelle. Oh, you've got it and haven't used it yet. You need to get it out. This is the first time I've used mine. I actually haven't had this for very long. I knew I was going to get it, though. I thought I got to use it for the class. There we go. And you do want to stamp it on the right side because we're going to be tucking this side underneath the flower die cut. And, oh yes, one more thing to stamp. There's some little, this is the inside of the card. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And there is this cute little stamp inside the stamp set. I do need the petal pink again. I try to come up with different insides. I could have stamped a partial part of the big flower too with the petal pink, and that would have looked pretty. But you'll see some other options. You'll see me do that in the other 2 cards. So I thought I'd use that little stamp and just stamp that there. You could stamp more if you want to, but I just went ahead and did it in that little one there, just to make the inside a little more special. And I'm going to go ahead and put that in the inside of the card before I forget. I have been known to do that. And make sure that fold is on the left, because I have been known to put it upside down too. There we go. So that's all ready to go. We got the inside all done. I am going to bring in, get this closed, my die cutting machine. Oh, I put it a little too far away. There we go. Now this screen, I had to put the camera down really low. So hopefully, well, you'll see how I line it up anyway. So I was afraid it was going to be too close. I can't get over how close this camera is, but now that looks really close. So I'm going to put, this is my standard cutting plate, or the base plate. This is the die plate, and then a standard cutting plate. There we go. I said the wrong name there for a minute. I'm going to put this in. And of the dies, I want this great big one right here. I'm going to line it up. Oop, I lost some of my tape here. Grab a couple pieces. And when I say post-it tape, this is what it looks like. I got it on Amazon. I'm sure you can get it other places now. We can get a few pieces out here. I'm not sure how many I'm going to need. Always like to have them handy. Okay, so this will turn around here. Get this lined up. Just make sure that that image fills in that open area of the die. And it's a big one, so there's a lot to look at to make sure you've got it in there pretty good. But that looks good to me. And even though it's a big one, I still, oops, I just knocked my camera. Sorry about that. I think 2 pieces of tape is going to be plenty. That is, if it'll stay down. I grab my other standard cutting plate, put it on top, and run this through. And this is the only thing I'm going to die cut for this card. Put that to the side. Okay. And then this is what comes out. Oh, I forgot I've still got adhesive on there. There we go. So there's the pretty flowers. Put this over to the side for later. Oh, yeah, I don't need this either. And I think I'm going to use this for the second card so I don't waste that other half sheet I've got. So now I'm going to bring in this. Oh, I forgot one step I want to do. This is already going to be die cut for you if you get the card kits. It's a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of basic white. And I embossed it with the Distress Tile folder. Not sure if you can see that, but it's a really neat folder. I like this one a lot. You've seen me use it a ton. Now, I didn't want it to just be white. I decided I'm going to take my petal pink ink again. Grab some, and then I'm going to kind of start in the middle and just add a little pink to this. I'm okay if it's a little blotchy looking. Oops, I picked up the wrong, no wonder that looked weird. There we go, now it'll look better. Okay, so I've got these. I'm going to make it a little more down here and a little more up here and leave this a little more white on these corners because of the way the flowers are angled. I want the pink to show more around the flowers. So I'm going to grab that. You can go in similar to that. I think I need a little more down here. Kind of like a little pink haze around the flowers. And it also shows off that embossing a little better. So I'll put this here. Lay this down again. Oh, that looks good. I can see pink all the way around it. I'm not going to put it on just yet because I'm going to put this on with dimensional. So I might as well turn this over, grab my dimensionals. I'm going to put one up here. Always like to make sure the ones that are kind of sticking out, make sure that those are supported. There's one there. Now I'll kind of put some here in the center, center section. Maybe one right here in the middle, and I think one more right here should do it. That should, well, you know what? I think I should do one more right there. Okay, now I'm going to take your pick tool, put the paper piercer in at an angle and scoop all these up. The paper backing's off. Don't think I got that one. There we go. I'm going to put that to the side because I think I'm going to go ahead and put this on the card base quick. So I need to grab my adhesive. There it is. And this will just go right on the card front, right in the center. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead, grab my greeting, make sure it's ready to go. I'm going to lay it down first. I'm not going to push it down all the way. That way I can pop it up if I need to. That's about where I have it on my original. So about right there. Make sure that right edge is lined up with the right edge of the embossed piece. And this is going to go here. Oh yeah, that looks fine. So this is going to be just covering up that left side just a little bit. Bring it down a little bit. There, I think that looks good. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to put this down. Almost done with this already. I do have a piece of ribbon. I thought we needed a little something down here on the bottom corner, left corner. So in the kit, you'll get a 24-inch piece of the ribbon. This is silver and white sheer ribbon. And what you're going to do, you want to fold it in half. And then, grab my scissors here, just cut this in half. And then you will have enough for both your cards. So this 12-inch piece will be for the second card. This one is for this one. I'm going to tie this in a bow. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to start on the left side because I need all of this here to be able to wrap around the loop. And that'll get it more in the center. And 12 inches is plenty. We'll be trimming off some of these edges. I'm just going to keep bringing the bow down a little bit and then tightening it again until I got it, have it about the size I want it to be. That loop needs to go down a little bit more. There, that looks pretty good. I'm going to grab my glue dots, put the glue dot right on top, or the knot of the bow right on top of the glue dot. Kind of push it down, bring it up, and it's going to go right here. Okay, and then I'm going to take my scissors and cut these ribbon ends at an angle. Make it so they're about the same length. They don't have to be perfect. There we go. So now I've got a nice little ribbon on there. It kind of gives a little something for that to go. And now I'm going to grab my rainbow dots. Oh, thanks, Polly. Thanks, Lorraine. Glad you guys are liking it. I think I already said thanks to Becky. She said she loves it too. So the colors, let me see if I can, well, here, I actually wrote them down. Have a cheat sheet. Fresh Freesia. These are balmy blue. It's really hard to tell. I wasn't sure which were which. These are Pool Party right here. And these, the darker ones are the balmy blue. So it's Fresh Freesia, balmy blue, Bubble Bath, Azure Afternoon, Lemon Lolly, Petal Pink, Pool Party, and Flirty Flamingo. So I'm going to be using the Petal Pink right here, since that's what my card base color is. Any of these would work though, but I want to stick with the same colors. I'm going to grab a large one and put it right here. And then I'm going to put a little small one right next to it. Sometimes I like to group them together a little bit. Then I'm going to grab another large one and put it in this little empty spot on the greeting. And another small one and put it about right there. Since I've got an embellishment down here, I wanted to get those up there so we'd have some more there. So there is the first card. With all the explaining, that may take a little bit longer, but it's a pretty quick card to make when you don't have to explain everything. Thanks, Lynn. I'm glad you liked it. Oh, hi, Mimi. Glad you made it. Okay, so the first card's done. And that was using, you can see how you can barely see the outline, but it's faint enough that you can still see the detail in the rose using that basic beige. So if you want to have a light outline, use the basic beige. Okay, now I'm going to use a darker for the rose stamp. So you can get to see that look too. I've done all the roses just a little bit different on each card. I like to show you different options you can use. Okay, so here is this one. Since I already still have a half a sheet on my other one, I'm going to put this to the side, but this is what in the kit you would get a half sheet for both of your cards, just like I explained on the first card. I'm going to turn this over. Oh, no, I'm not. It's got adhesive on it. I think I'm going to be fine. Got that little pink there. If it doesn't work, I'll just stamp it on my, the other sheet I had. Oops, I got a little something there too. There we go. I need to clean this off because I'm going to be using the basic gray now. Oh, thanks, Patty. I'm glad you like the colors. Thanks, Mary Pat. Saying stunning, beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Yes, it was fun watching that game last week, but I missed you guys too. Glad to be back. Okay, now I'm going to take the basic gray, ink this up. I'm doing the same thing with the basic gray. I'm kind of just tapping it to get it all inked up, and then I'm using a little more pressure here in the middle to make sure I've got this middle section inked up. And then when I go to stamp it, let's see if I can do it missing that pink. I think I can. Oh, yes, I can. Okay, so I'm going to put it down here. And I'm going to put most of the pressure here where those roses are here in the center. Okay, and lift this up. That did fine. So I've still got everything stamped just fine on the outer parts without me putting pressure on it and didn't make it too dark for me. Okay, so now it's time. Kind of doing things out of order this time, but we'll go ahead and get this one ready for the, now that I've got it angled different, I'm probably going to be putting the masks down differently. You know what? I need some more adhesive. Let me grab some more here. I keep putting things down and can't find them. I'm sure. Oh, there it is. Covered it up with the card base. Get this bag out of the way. That'll help me tremendously. Okay. I think I need to do it more like this. I'm kind of trying to get it to where it'd be easier to line up the, stencils or masks. Let me find my number one. I've got them out of order again, or this time. So I want to make sure I get those. Okay, you know what? I'm going to look at my other card. See if I can get this lined up right. There we go. So the easiest way I think is to lay this down so it looks similar to what the stamp does on the card, on the stamp. Well, no, take that back. That's not going to help. I just think if you do it like this with this group of 3 up here on top, that's the way you want to do it. The flowers here on the top, I always want to put those 3 on top because that helps me line it up a lot easier and have this upright. I knew there was a trick. I just hadn't thought about it before. So that little bunch of 3 up here, have that be on the top, and that lines it up a lot easier. Okay, I'm going to grab my Sharpie again and get the lid off. Make my little line for that. Okay. This time I'm making yellow flowers. So here is Lemon Lolly. I'm actually going to use 2 different yellows for this one. I'm going to start off with the Lemon Lolly. And make sure I've still got this lined up. Oh, it definitely moved on me. I knew it did. Okay, get that lined up again. Thankfully, I have my little notch written up there. Get those flower centers lined up again. There we go. Grabbing my Lemon Lolly. It's kind of moving a little bit more because the stencil's a little wet still. Didn't think about that. Make sure your stencil is dry or, well, don't have a glass mat underneath. That is probably why it's moving on me. There we go. So there's the lemon lolly. Even though it moved, I think it worked out good. So there's that. So that was number 1. Let me find my number 2 since they're out of order. There we go. I'm going to wipe this off on my pants a little bit. Maybe that'll dry it. I'm going to line this up again. Get that up here lined up, and then make sure my flower centers are where they need to be. I take that back, do the flower centers first, then check your V out. So the flower centers here, good. Up here, there's a little one down here, and that looks good up there. I'm going to grab my lemon lolly and do more pressure this time to get a darker version of the lemon lolly. I'm doing a lot more pressure here, but still being careful that I don't end up messing up that little piece that's sticking up. Okay, so now I've got a faint version. I will bring it closer once it's all done so you can see it a little better. Now I need number 2. I think that's on the bottom here. Oh, they're sticking together. There we go. Oh, this one's really wet. Oh, I do have paper towel here. I'm going to kind of pat it. It's just a little damp. Okay, line this up again. I'm done with my lemon lolly because this time I'm going to use Daffodil Delight because I could tell when I did that second layer, I probably wasn't going to get the lemon lolly to look any darker. So I thought I'm going to try Daffodil Delight, and it worked good. So make sure I've got the right blending brush. Get this open. Now I'm going to use lighter pressure though because I still don't want that yellow to be way too dark. I just want it to be a nice gradual effect. So I'm lining up these flower centers again. And then looking at my V. Oh, that's not quite right. Oh, no, yeah, it is. It's good. Okay. Pick up my Daffodil Delight. And I'm not using a lot of pressure on the roses. Okay. Now on the flower centers, I am going to have to use a little more just to get that color to go down inside those little holes. I think that's good. I'm going to lift it up just a little bit. Oh, yeah, that looks perfect. There we go. So now I've got a nice gradual effect there. I'm going to hurry up and do the green leaves. Grab this. I'm going to take a little bit of this off because I actually put some petal pink in that by accident. I think that fixed it. Okay, now I'm going to grab number 4. No, that's number 5. Here's number 4. So this is the last time I'm going to be using the stencils for the leaves. We're just going to do a little bit of stenciling on the second card, not much. Line the leaves up, and then I will look at that little notch, see if that's lined up. Let me open this up before I get too lined up. Hate to have to line it up twice. Okay, just about there. There, that looks good. Pick up soft seafoam. Get all these leaves colored in. And yeah, I got them all. There we go. And last but not least, I'm going to do number 5 to get some more detail into those leaves. Get things lined up. There we go. When you don't see any white, too much, well, you don't want to see any white space actually in the leaves. But then make sure it's still lined up with that V. I need to move it a little bit. You may think you have it all lined up, and then all of a sudden it isn't. My goodness, it's not. I think my white paper moved a little bit. So I'm going to just make sure the leaves. So if that happens to you, just make sure it looks good here. You can tell I thought I moved that white paper by accident, and I sure did. So now I'm using more pressure. That all in there. Get that nice detail in there. Going over it a couple times because I can tell it needs to be a little bit darker. Put that up a little bit. Oh, perfect. There we go. All done with this one, so I'll bring it closer to the screen. Oh, hi, Jan. Glad you're here. But there are the flowers. Isn't that pretty? And I think they have that light, well, putting the daffodil to light using a soft pressure for that last color really makes the flowers pop. I really like that a lot. Okay, I'm getting a lot of ink on here. I'm getting some of this cleaned off. Don't need that anymore because you always want to have a different notch written down. If you've just got grid paper underneath, which is what I did at my desk, you can just use, I used a pencil and I just erased it because I knew I was going to need one for each card. I might as well do the die cutting. That way I've got that done. So I'm going to bring this back in. Go ahead. Oops. Put this down. Grab the big die. And you have a 50-50 chance with this, which is nice. I love it when it doesn't take too long to figure out which way it needs to go. Get that image completely filled up. Hopefully my hand is not making the camera go crazy. Trying to focus in. That happens sometimes. Okay, I think I got it. That looks good. Grab a piece of Post-it tape there. That should do it. Grab my standard cutting plate again. I know the paper over here is hanging down, but I'm making sure the die is definitely within the sandwich because you have to have the right pressure. Oops, it moved on me. I think I'm going to have to get a new die plate because this thing's getting kind of warped. We'll do this again, and I'm going to use another piece of tape. So line this up again. I'm glad I looked before I die cut. That would have made me very sad. That on there. I'm going to grab another piece of tape here. That should hold it down. There we go. Get this to go through. I'm still not getting those leaves lined up for some reason. That's good enough. Everything else looks good. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. Oops, I hit the camera again. Sorry about that. It is so low. My phone, I don't have to have this low, but this one I have to bring down really low so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Oh, what am I doing? I still have more die cutting to do. I forgot. Go ahead and get this off. That's not too bad. It didn't line up perfectly on those leaves. That's weird because everything else lined up just fine. Oop, out of the video. Now we've got those pretty flowers. Oh, hi, Paula. Put that to the side. I'm going to bring that back in again. I forgot I have some leaves to die cut. Put this here. I did move that camera, hopefully. Hopefully it's looking okay to you guys. Now I'm going to grab this piece. This is a 5.5 by 2 1/4, and you'll be able to do 2 sets of the leaves that I'm getting ready to die cut. I'm getting to where I combine making big pieces big enough for die cutting for both cards. That way I don't have as many little pieces to have to cut. So I've got this leaf. I'll turn them over so you can see them better. Those 2 leaves and these 2 leaves are the dies that I want. So I'm going to turn these over because you want the blades to be facing down. And that's taking up about half of the paper. We've got plenty of paper over here for the second card. I'm going to put this right on top. I'm not going to worry about the tape this time. Just as long as it stays on the cardstock, we're good. Put this through. Oh, thanks, Michelle. I'm glad you like the yellows with the soft sea foam. Okay, I'm going to put these dies in my dish. That way I don't lose them. Okay. So now we've got, oops, this one, yeah, that die cut. Take these little pieces out here until I don't even need to get my, take your pick tool out. They're coming out really easy. There we go. Oops, I missed this one. I'm so close to the camera, it's hard to, there we go. So there's that one. We've got 2 smaller ones. These two right here. Oh, I'm getting ink on my fingers, aren't I? Occupational hazard. And then the smaller version of that first one I just showed you. So I've got all of those done because I want to add a few more leaves. Now I'm done. Yeah, I'm definitely done die cutting. For now, I forgot I do have a little more die cutting on the second card I almost forgot about. Here is my Lemon Lolly card base, 5.5 by 8.5. I love this Lemon Lolly color. It is such a pretty yellow. Get those corners lined up. Grab my bone folder. Oh, thanks, Deborah. I'm glad you like the yellow rose. There we go. And this is going to be a landscape card, so I want the fold to be on the top. This piece, there are going to be two pieces that you need for your card base. This is 5.25 by 4. So this is an inside piece. This is the outside piece. They're both the same size. And I'm going to be putting this on here, but I didn't like it just being white background. So once again, I'm going to bring in my Lemon Lolly. Make sure I get the right, yeah. And I'm going to start in the bottom left corner here. And then start bringing some color up here. Start down, hit the bottom again. Oops, I got that a little darker than I wanted it. That's okay, the flower's going to be covering that up some. But I want it to be lighter out here, but I'm not going to go all the way up to this corner. I think I'm going to get a little more here. I'm going to bring in my flowers again. This time I'm going to put them on something like this. So I got that way too dark, but that's okay. I think we add a little bit more up here, lighter this time. First time I didn't get enough ink on this thing, and then I got too much on the bottom. Okay, I think that looks good enough. So that's going to have a nice little yellow background to it. Once the flower's on it, it looks so pretty. Okay, I think, oh, I want to stamp the greeting. I'm going to be using, I think it covered it up again. Yes. This one says, "You make my heart smile." And I'm going to use basic gray again. Mary Catherine, yes, they are in the catalog. They're in the annual catalog. Yeah, this is a brand new set. So anything that's brand new, you'll definitely find in the new catalog. If you have trouble looking for it, though, you could go to the online store and just up in the search engine, type in "Layers of Beauty," and it'll pop up. I'm going to put this up in the top right corner. Oop, I forgot to grab my Stampin' Pierce mat, but I think it's going to be okay. Yep, that's good. So you want to stamp that top right. Now, I think, yeah, now that that's all done, I can put this on the card base. Okay. Probably should have cleaned this off quick because I'm getting a little yellow on my glass mat. Put this right here in the center. Okay, now I'm going to put this on with dimensionals again. I like it popped up. Oop, I need to get this out of the way. I don't need that. Probably put them on about the same way I did before. Make sure I get some on these sections that are kind of sticking out by themselves. Oops. When I took off a paper backing, let's grab that one. Put that one in the center, and that should be good. Take the paper backings off. Oops. And then I'm going to put this at an angle. I want to make sure that it's not hanging over the edge of the Lemon Lolly card base. It's okay if it goes over the edge of the white cardstock. But there, that looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and push that down. I'm going to grab my silicone mat. Oh, you're welcome, Mary Catherine. And then I've got these. Let's see if I can find my, oh, there it is. I'm going to turn all of these over. And I'm going to put a little bit of multi-purpose glue on here. I'm not going to put a lot of glue on these because you don't want it to be too much. I'm actually going to not put any on the leaf ends here. That way I've got something to hold on to. Now I've got a dot that's a little bit too thick, so I'm going to tap it off on my silicone mat. And then once it dries, then I can peel that off. Boy, this one right here is not wanting to go away. That's better because I don't want it to ooze out the sides. And because this is popped up with dimensionals, I can now just stick this under. Stick it in just a little bit because I thought we needed a little bit more with this big area here, so I wanted to add some leaves to it. Now this one, I'm just going to put a couple dots. Well, if I can get, there we go. I never know when these glue things are going to quit working on for me. I think there's still glue in here. And when I squeeze too hard, too much comes out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tap some of that off. This one I put in this area down here. I'll tuck that underneath the flowers again. Get this angled the way I want it. That's pretty good. Now push that down, hold pressure down, that way it sticks in. And now I'm going to grab this one. Put a little glue on here. Yeah, I think this thing's about out because I'm going to have to push pretty hard to get it to come out. And this one, I put right down here. And if you want to add more leaves, you definitely can. Just die cut some more out. And this little one right here, tap a little bit of that glue off of that big leaf. And I thought we need a little something more up here. There we go. So I've got the front all done, except for, I forgot, we got to have the embellishments to put on. So I'm going to grab the rain. I don't know why I put them back in the packaging. This time I'm going to use the lemon lolly. Get my take your pick tool. I'm going to grab a big one and put it up here. Grab a little one, if I can get a hold of it. And I'm going to put it over here. I'm kind of putting these around the flowers. And I thought I need one down here. And you can definitely add more if you want to. But there is the front of the card. Now I want to do the inside. So I'm going to grab that last 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece. And I need to clean this off using this big stamp on every single card. I wonder why. It's so pretty. Oh, one thing I want to show you. I didn't use it this time. But let's say you wanted, let me bring this in. Say you wanted to die cut this big flower out and maybe add some more roses over here or even pop this one up. There is a die in the stamp set that you can just die cut that rose out. Isn't that wonderful? So you could add more, you have a little individual rose if you wanted to too. So I want to make sure you knew that's what this die is for. That die cuts that center flower out. And then the other ones do the other stamps in the set. Okay, I'm going, oh, I got some stuff on that one. Let's turn it over. I'm going to ink this up with, with Lemon Lolly. Oh, thanks, Carrie. I'm glad you're liking this one. I think this one might be my favorite too. I really like the yellow. Okay, I'm inking this up. Make sure I get that center part inked really good. Oh, thanks, Anne. I'm glad you're loving it. Now, I wanted to make this, I'm using the longer part, this part that comes out like, it almost looks like a triangle. I have the flat part of the triangle here. I'm going to just, this almost goes completely across the bottom of this 5 1/4 inch length. Forgot to grab my Stampin' Pierce mat, but that's okay. This is going to be fine. Oh, yep, it's good. So now I've just got a nice little border, very, very light. If you wanted to show up more, you might want to use Daffodil Delight. That would probably show up a lot better. That Lemon Lolly is a really light yellow. Get that cleaned up quick for my next thing. Plus, I don't want to get more yellow on here. So that is how I did the inside. So I just did a partial. I made it so it would go right across the bottom. Makes a really pretty border. And card number 2's done. I hope you like that one. And a lot of you have already said you did. Oh, thanks, Michelle. Both Michelles. I've got 2 Michelles that just popped on. Thanks, guys. And Carrie. Okay, so starting to lose. Oh, there we go. trying to stack them up together so I can show all three of them at the end of the video. I'm going to go ahead and clean this off while I've got it out because I need it one more time with another color. The stamp is getting a workout. Okay, now this time I'm using Pool Party colors. Now I haven't used any DSP, which is designer series paper, in case you didn't know, on these cards, just because the flower is so big. This one I'm going to use some paper, some DSP. It is from the Subtles 6x6 designer series paper. I will show you my original, but when you get your pack, you are going to get two different designs on this. That way I know I've got enough paper for everybody, and also gives you two options. I'm actually giving you, there are two different double-sided designs in each color. You are going to get a little strip from each design, so you can pick whichever side you want. And you won't forget, so I use the striped one on this one, and the other side has that leaf design on the back. So you'll have 4 sides that you can choose from for your card. Okay, so bring this in, and I'm not using any white. The other neat thing about the basic beige is that it's a really nice neutral too. So this is going to be what I'm going to be using instead of white. Let's look at some of your comments real quick. Oh, thanks, Becky and Lynn and Rayetta. Okay. Oh, and Anita too. Oh, you're talking to Michelle. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way. This is my card base, 5.5 by 8.5 Pool Party. I thought I would just use the Subtles DSP on all 3 cards, so that's why I'm using Subtles colors on most of this. But then I changed my mind, and I'm only using a DSP on this card. Because like I said, those other 2, they actually look better without the DSP, which I almost always use DSP. There, we've got the card base. Put that to the side. I need to get this back to where I can see it, so remember how I made the card. I just made it yesterday, but you think I'd remember, but just in case. Okay, this is a piece of Pool Party. It's 4 by 5.25. It's going to go on top of here, but I wanted this to be a little bit of a different, not the exact same color. So I am bringing in Pool Party ink and a blending brush. And I'm just going to take some ink and put them here along the edges. And it kind of brings out that embossing again too. So I ended up, I didn't plan it this way, but I ended up using a blending brush on the base layers on all 3 cards. Just add a little more color and depth to it. I'm not going to worry about the center because it's going to be covered up anyway. So I've just done the edges. A little darker than I did on my first one, but it will lighten up because I know when I did my original, it was a little darker than I wanted, and then it lightened up after it dried a little bit. Okay, I do not want to put that on the card base just yet. I'm going to go ahead and grab that DSP piece. This is a 4 by 1.5. And I can use this side or this side. I think I'm going to use this side. So I'm going to turn it over, put the adhesive on where the circle design is. I love our 6x6 DSP that is in the color families. Like I said, this is the Subtles one. We've got one for the Regals, the Brights, and the Neutrals, and both in colors. And I think these are the best pattern, or the designs that they picked out are the best that they've had with these type DSP packs. I really like it a lot. So that is ready. Now I'm going to grab another piece of Pool Party that's in the kit. This one is a 3 by 4.25. I'm going to grab the big flower here and Pool Party ink. I'm going to ink the whole thing up, even though I'm only putting a partial on here. And I'm going to grab my Stampin' Pierce mat this time. And I really should put some grid paper on here because if I can grab hold of it. Because what I'm going to do, probably need to do it this way. I might have to move it again. But I wanted the big rose to show the most. So I'm going to angle it like this. I'm on the top left corner. Kind of angle it a little bit. That looks pretty good. Hold that down, mainly pushing where the rose is again. There we go. So now I've just got a partial right here. And now I'm only going to do a little bit of stenciling, not much, or masking, I guess I should say. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I'm going to grab number 3 of these. See if I, hopefully, sorry, I looked away from the microphone. You probably couldn't hear me. I'm going to get the number 3. See if I can find this. There's one. I have to get the angle just right so I can see it. I think this, yep, there's number 3. And I forgot to clean it off. I think my baby wipe's still wet. So I can go ahead and take the ink off. This one isn't as delicate, so I'm not worrying about dabbing it too much. And then I want to find my paper towel. There we go. Because it definitely works better if you get it dried off. So I'm just tapping, or tapping on it, or patting it. There we go, patting it. Now, I do believe the center section right here is this flower here. So once again, I'll make sure that notch is on the top right, and I can see the number. That way I know I've got it in the right place. And this flower, there's a little bit of a flower showing here, and that lines up with this one. There are no flower centers. Oh, there is a little flower center right here. So that has got to be for this one. So that's going to help me out a little bit too. I have to admit, this one's a little bit harder to line up. There we go. Tell you what, see this little section here looks like a U. That's going to go in that little hump of that flower. So that kind of helps too. So once again, get that flower center there. There we go. So I've got that there. I'm going to grab, I'm not going to worry about doing a V because this is the only one I'm going to use. I'm going to grab Pool Party. Now on my original, I pushed down way too hard and the Pool Party came out a lot darker than I wanted it to. So I'm going to try to use a lighter section. Oh, you know what? I'm going to start looking here more. This thing here lines up with this section right here. You just play around with it and you'll be able to figure it out. But there, that looks pretty good. I'm still going to look at that flower center because I can tell I'm way off again. But once you get that flower center up here, then you look at this flower and you can tell it's getting lined up. That looks pretty good. I'm going to use a light touch because I went way too dark, like I said, on my original. I'll lift this up and see if that's actually perfect. There we go. That's a much lighter, just gives a nice little shading to it. I really like that a lot. You can do more if you want to, but that's all I'm going to do. And I'll try to remember to bring my original back out so you can see the difference, but that looks so much better because I did it lighter. So make sure you do that lighter touch. I'm going to put this onto a piece of basic beige. This one is 3 1/4 by 4.5. And if I can think of a better way to line that up, I will put it in the post. The post for this card will come up on Tuesday on my blog. If you look at in the video description on YouTube, you'll I can't add I don't add links to the Facebook because I guess it makes it so it doesn't go. They don't share it with enough people on Facebook. On YouTube, I can still put links. So if you go to the YouTube video on Fridays, that's when I post the first card on my blog. So there'll be a link added. Sunday, another link will be added for the second card, and this one will pop up on Tuesday. You can get the link there. So if I think of a better, easier way to line that up, I will put in that post, I promise. Hopefully I'll think of an easier way. But like I said, I would make sure that you get a little bit of these flowers here that have center, because that definitely helped me line it up a lot easier that way if I had that. If I didn't have that, it would have been a little harder. So I'm going to put this down on the center here. Okay. And if you don't want to mess with it, it'll look good if you just do the outline. You don't have to have that shading in there. Okay. Or you could even take a Pool Party Stampin' Blend if you wanted to and color in some shading yourself if you don't want to use the mask on that. Now in the kit, you'll find a piece. This is also basic beige. This is the basic beige bordered ribbon. It's a 12-inch piece, but we're going to, once again, I want you to cut it in half. So you have enough for both of your cards because you only need a 6-inch piece. So cut it out that loop. And this one will be for the second, or this one will be for the second card. I'll get that out of the way. I'm going to grab my tear and tape. Take a piece off here. And another one here. This is going to go right across here. What I'm doing, I'm going to put it to where I cover up the very top of that DSP. Okay, the designer series paper. Bring this over. I'm going to put the tear and tape right across the ribbon, but right along the edge of the pool party. Put this down, try to get it straight. So I'm kind of looking here where the DSP is to see if that looks straight there, and that looks pretty good. So bring this over. I'm pulling it so it's tight, but not too tight. You just want it to where it's not gapping any. If you pull it too tight, the paper will curl, and you don't want that. You want the paper to stay flat and the ribbon just to be right up against the cardstock. Okay. Now this is ready to be put on the card base. Now we have the ribbon around it. So I'll put some seal in the corners. A little bit here. I'm going to take my take your picture. I'm going to push down this tear and tape first to make sure it's attached real well. I'm going to start in between the ribbon and the end of the adhesive. Bring that up. I just kind of jiggle it a little bit, and that makes it to where it just brings up usually the paper. I think I had it. There we go. Bring in the card base. My fold is on the left. And this is going to go on like so. Then this is a piece. Oh, this I'm going to do some die cutting. So let me put that to the side for right now. I'm going to grab this first. This is was done. Let me show you the die set because this is a really neat die set. This is Unbounded Love. I love all the different shapes in here. It's got a really, it's bundled with, this is will be a bundle that you could get an extra 10% off if you wait till Wednesday if you want it. It's got a really nice sentiment set, and it is bundled with these dies. So these dies you can use with a ton of different sentiments, but you're really going to like the Unbounded Love stamp set that is bundled with it. Also, I should have brought that over so you could see it, but I didn't think of it. Now the die I used is this scallop oval right here. So when you get the card kits, yours will be die cut for you. I'm going to grab the basic, no, not basic beige, I want pool party. I'm only using pool party ink on this card. I'm going to grab the happy anniversary. This would make a really nice wedding card too, I think. Really, all of these would make a nice wedding card. I'm going to stamp this here on the oval. There we go. And I'm going to put it on with dimensionals since it's kind of it's going to go over the ribbon. I'm not going to worry about putting dimensionals here on the ends. I'm just going to do it here on the top and bottom. Oop, those are my minis. Oh, there they are. So I'm going to put one on there and there. That's the top and bottom. Take those paper backings off. And it's going to go here. I want to have a little bit of ribbon show. But there, that looks pretty good. Okay. Now we need to die cut some leaves. I'm going to grab my die cutting machine again. I think I keep moving it farther away. Now I'm only going to do 2 leaves. Let me get all these little pieces off of here from the last time I used it. This is also telling me I need a new mat for my standard cutting plate on the bottom because all these little pieces are sticking to the little grooves in it. It's been cut so many times. Okay, there is a piece. This one is 2 3/4 by 2. Oh, I take that back. It is 3 by 2.5 of basic beige. This is going to be enough for both cards. You're going to do the large leaf one that we did a little bit ago. And then of the 2 thinner leaf ones, you want to use the bigger one. And that one is going to go here. And then you have room to do the other 2 on the other side. I'll put this on another standard cutting plate on top. Got this in there too much. Let me get it out a little bit. There we go. Oops, I knew they were going to move as soon as I moved it. There we go. And now we'll have 2 leaves, and these are going to go around. Oh, wait a minute. There. Try not to reach too much. I hurt my sciatica last on Sunday. Well, now I can't have my days all mixed up. It's doing a lot better today, but it was pretty bad. I think it was on Memorial Day. It wasn't doing anything. It just popped. So reaching for that die cutting machine, I want to be really careful because I don't want to do it again. Okay, get all those little pieces out. Oh, thanks, Mary Catherine. It is, yes, pretty and elegant. Yes, I thought it's also very easy to make too, which is nice. Okay, so there we've got that ready to go. Oh, the little one is still stuck in the paper. There we go. Got nervous there. I was afraid I lost my die. And then we've got this one. Good. Now I don't have to get that die cutting machine over here again. Bring in my card base. I'm going to bring in that silicone mat. I'm going to turn these over. I'm going to add glue just like I did the last time I put some of these on, that yellow card. Get a little bit here. Sorry, I'm not talking, I'm kind of concentrating. There we go. That glue bottles give me problems. I want this bigger one. I thought it looked better up here, so I'm going to tuck it underneath. And the other nice thing about only having those 2 dimensionals, I don't have to worry about one of them getting in the way when I put my leaf down. I've got plenty of room to put some stuff down without it hurting it. And I thought I turned that one over, but I don't think I did. Nope, there's the back. I can tell because the back side's a little rough looking and the good side is a little smoother. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here. Looks like I need to take a little bit off. And this one is going to go down here. Hold that down for a few seconds. Put pressure on it, and that is ready to go. And now I want to put some bling on here. Grab these, and I bet you can guess which ones I'm using. I'm using the Pool Party down here. I'm going to put a big one right here. A little one, I can get hold of it down here in this corner. And then another little one I decided to put up here. There, so now the front is all done. And I forgot to stamp the inside. We got to do that. So the inside I'm doing basic beige too. So this is a 4 by 5 1/4. I want to grab that big flower stamp. I don't need to clean it because I'm going to use Pool Party again. Ink this up. And have a look to see how I did it. Okay. Once again, I'm going to get that little flower, or the bigger rose, I mean, down here in the corner. I think I'm going to angle it more like this, so it's kind of on the side. Push that down. I forgot to grab my Stampin' Pierce mat, but hopefully this will do just fine. Yep, it did good. Actually, I wish I angled that a little more. I'm going to turn it over. And then I'll pick which side I like the best. Okay, I'm going to angle a little more like this. See if I like this one better. I think I like that one better. Either one. Oh, I got ink on that one anyway. I forgot to clean that off. So we'll use this side. But I like this side better anyway. As soon as I put it down, I thought, oh, wait a minute, I should have cleaned that off. I like that one anyway. Turn this over. I like the Pool Party on the beige color. I think it's pretty. Now this will just go on the inside of the card. And this class is in the record books. There we go. Well, good. Let's see, what time is it? Oh, it's not too bad. We've gotten done at this time when I've started on time. I was afraid this might be a really late one since I had so many technical difficulties. Get these on here so you can see them all. There we go. So those are my cards for my Layers of Beauty card class at home. Hope you guys liked them. I'll look at some of your comments here. Oh, thanks, Becky. Oh, thanks, Mary Linda. I'm glad you liked them. Okay. Yeah, aren't those great dies, Jeanne? I know which ones you're talking about. These right here. I love them. I've only used a few of them. Excuse me, getting my throat's drying out. But yeah, there are so many different ones. I really like this. This is a must-have set, I think. I really like them. I like how some of them have a little leaf. That one puts a little leaf die cut in the rectangle. It's pretty cool. I'm going to have to take a drink. Hold on a second. All of a sudden, my throat dried up. Oh, okay, that's better. Oh, thanks, Anne. I'm glad you liked them. Becky. Thanks, Mary Pat. I saw your heart. And Marlene, thank you. Oh, thanks, Robin. You love the pool party one? Thanks. And that one's the easiest one, except for lining up that little bit. I like how those turned out. Oh, that camera really got messed up. There we go. Can tell them at an angle, but that's all right. I think you got the gist of it. Like hit it enough, it kind of got off kilter. Okay. Ooh, this one's definitely off kilter. Let me fix this one before I put my face back on. There we go. It's still not quite right. Okay, I just had my head showing there for a second. I had to lift up the camera so I can see all your comments. Okay, I'm seeing a couple people putting hashtag door prize, so that is time to do that. First, I want to make sure I tell you, remember that you can get the card kits for free to make 2 each of the cards. Place that $40 order before shipping and tax using the host code you see scrolling across. I'm going to put this one up quick. Use that host code, and $40 order before shipping and tax will get you the card kits to make 2 each of the cards I just made. If you bump that up to $50 order, you'll get a full pack of those Rainbow Adhesive-Backed Dots that I use on all the cards for free too, using that host code. Do not use the host code if your order's over $150 before shipping and tax. You'll get everything from me, plus you'll get Stampin' Words from Stampin' Up. Okay. I want to do the door prize. How about you? Actually, I should have told you all that while we're waiting for people to get hashtag door prize. So if you live in the United States and want to be in the drawing for these pearls I'm going to show you in just a minute, make sure you do hashtag door prize right now. Type it in just like you're seeing it. Let me point the right spot. On that bottom of the screen. Do hashtag door prize just like you see it, because I've got a program that picks the winner for me, but it only pulls the comments where the hashtag door prize is typed in correctly when you're watching the live. If you're watching now and it's the replay, it doesn't have to be typed in perfectly to get in the second door prize, because I see it. I'm the one that enters all the names in the wheel, so I'll make sure you're added. But those of you that are watching live right now, make sure you type it in just like you see it there on the screen, and you will get put in the drawing for these pearls, the adhesive-backed pearl trio. I can't remember the colors. I think it's Blackberry Bliss. You know what? I have got a pack where I've written all that down. Let's see if I can find them quickly. That's probably not quickly, but we'll see. Oh, I thought they were in that pack. Wait a minute. There we go. Oh, these are Petunia Pop up here. It's really hard to tell. Well, here, you know what? Let me, since I've got this one out, this is my pack. You can tell I've used them all. So these are Calypso Coral, Misty Moonlight, and Petunia Pop. So those are the colors. So these are all the same. There's only one size, but the Calypso Coral, I just went blank. Misty Moonlight and Petunia Pop. Love that Petunia Pop color. That's a new in color. Let's see, Lynn, what is the name of the dies you just held up? Oh, the ones with the labels. Let me make sure. Let me get those quick. Make sure I'm telling you the right dies. These right here are called Unbounded Love. And they're brand new. And there is a stamp set that bundles with them too. That's a sentiment stamp set. But it's Unbounded Love. And those are in the new annual catalog. Okay, so this is the drawing for this one. I think I've talked long enough. Oh, good, Lynn. I'm glad those were the ones. Okay. Oh, thanks, Lola. I'm glad you liked the cards. Thanks, Mimi. and Lynn. Okay, now we're going to do the door prize. I'm going to, oh, thanks, Michelle. She just said I'm a great designer. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, I haven't seen any hashtag door prizes pop up for a little while, so I think everybody's in. If you did it at the beginning of the video, you're in. Don't worry. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, you know what? I didn't get this set up, but I can get it set up really quick with all those technical difficulties. There we go. Okay, get ready. I'm going to start. Let's see who's going to win. Deborah Ramos, or Ramos, is it Ramos or Ramos? Probably Ramos. Congratulations. Okay, let me get your name written down. Where did I put my post-it notes? There we go. Congratulations. Now, I know I don't have your address, Deborah. So please, if you're watching, let's see, it looks like you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on there, if you look down in the video description, you will see a contact me link. Click on that and give me your mailing address, and I'll get these mailed out to you next week when I mail out some other things. So congratulations, Deborah. And I always forget this doesn't go away on its own. Hold on. There we go. So congratulations, Deborah. And those are nice pearls. Those are brand new. Okay, that is it for tonight, guys. I'm so glad that we were able to get together. I was getting a little nervous, but this definitely wasn't my fault. When it's technical difficulties and it's my fault. But this time, that option disappeared, and I don't know why. It's kind of strange. You know how things like to act up. Internet, it's not always your friend. Oh, good. I'm seeing a bunch of congratulations. You guys are the best. I think we've got a good group of ladies that come on every week. I love you guys. Okay. So that is it. Looking forward to seeing you again next week. Oh, excuse me. Don't forget, I think I drank that my tea, too fast. Don't forget about the bundle sale that starts next Wednesday, June 5th. That's the last day of this class. I do believe this bundle, the Layers of Beauty bundle, is going to be one of the ones on here. That's an extra 10% off. So you'll be saving 20% off versus buying all of those three products that are in the bundle individually. So everybody can get that extra 10% off. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Also, if you want to get the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine that you saw me using here tonight, or our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machines, we have 2 different sizes. You get 10% off of those in the month of June too, starting June 5th. So this sale ends June 30th, so you have all month to be able to get your bundles at extra 10% off. So I want to make sure you knew about that because I didn't want you to order too early if you got some bundles and missed out on that sale. Okay, now I'm going to come back to me. Okay, now I'm going to say bye. I'm glad I remembered that part because I forgot to tell you about the die cutting machine being on sale too. And it's also the mini one. It comes in white and boho blue. Both of those are going to be 10% off. Okay, I will see you guys next week. Stay safe. Have a great weekend. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.